secured the bag. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Martell, and welcome back to another episode of The Urban Frame. You know what today is, New Comic Book Day, April 30th. It's the end of the month. Yeah, man, today was a good day. Didn't do too much filming in the shop, but just working through some changes I'm going through in the channel. We're just gonna go over some randos that I actually picked up this week. Wasn't a very heavy pull for me this week, but I collected some gems that I wanted to collect, and yeah, I'm trying to actually step away from purchasing a lot of physical copies, so I'm trying to get my ratios down to 50% digital, 50% physical. Whenever I figure out how to work that out, you guys will be the first to know. But without further ado, let's get into my first pickups of the week. From the indie side of things, out of Mad Cave Studios, and this is Dark Pyramid issue number 2. I don't know if any of you guys actually read this book. It was okay. I'm not really expecting too much out of it, but he ordered it for me, so I'm going to be a man of my word and purchase it. I'm going to buy this particular book, but after that, you guys probably won't see this on the channel anymore. But the cover art looks pretty nice. Dark Pyramid issue number 2 out of Mad Cave Studios. Right here is what you have. Have any of you guys read this story? Let me know what your opinions are about it, but my opinions are it's for me. I purchased this book previously, I know I did. And this book has been in my pool box for a long while now. And I kept on telling James, no, I think I already have that cover. Let me go back and look in the collection to see if I actually have this cover. Turns out I've been putting this book off for like 3 to 4 weeks now, and I finally went through looking in the collection and took it out my pool box. I do have this book, but I don't have this cover. And when I initially ordered this book, this was the cover that I really, really wanted, but it just took forever to come in. But it came in, and I have it now, and I actually have 2 dope covers out of it. So yeah, Space Ghosts, issue number 11, variant cover. Man, this right here is sick. Zombie Space Ghost, whatever it is, this cover right here is fire. If you guys are reading this, I don't know if you guys are reading this, because I don't know, but the artwork in here is fire. I have not yet opened any of my Space Ghosts, even my volume 1 of the trade. Haven't opened it yet, but at some point I'm going to get around to actually reading this. But this cover right here is very peak. I just had to bring it home. I didn't want to put it back on the shelf, although I have the other one. I think he's getting stumped out on that cover, but this cover right here is absolutely fire. I end up with a lot of Marvel books this week, but what is this? First up out of Marvel, we have Thunderbolts Doomstrike issue number 3. Thunderbolts versus the original Thunderbolts. The last story was okay. I'm definitely expecting this story to pick up the pace. If not, I'm not gonna lie, it is X'd off the pull list. I actually grabbed this book from another local LCS that I frequent down in Indiana, Summit Comics out in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I spend a lot of time out there. I cheat on the shop sometimes, and sometimes, you know, they have different covers that the shop doesn't have. Sometimes it's easier to get the get the covers out there at a cheaper price because A, taxes, and then number 2, on top of that, they have about 3 stores, I believe, or 4 stores altogether. So naturally, when you order the different incentive covers, you get them at a better deal because the bigger the shop is, the cheaper the covers are to the shop, so you get them at a better deal. So what we have here, we have Aliens versus Predator. This variant cover right here, definitely fire. Last week when they were grabbing this book, they were on the foil cover, and I'm not gonna lie, the foil cover is dope, but it's just something about this cover I think that will stand the test of time, where this cover will end up probably being the more timeless variant cover out of all of them that they came out with for this issue 1. So I had to grab this. Definitely dope seeing the Predator battle Spider-Man on this cover. So look, I'm not gonna lie to you, yo, when it's cooking, it's cooking. When it's fire, it's fire. This book is dope. Another flag, another story from One World of the Doom, but god damn, one thing I like is a dope cover. And without further ado, this is Red Hawk issue number 3, and baby, look at this cover. It is fucking amazing. And excuse my language, I'm so sorry, I don't curse, but sometimes it's a chef kiss. It is amazing. Look at the details. You see the Hawk's teeth in there. Look at Doom down here at the bottom. Look, this is what I purchase comics for. Dope covers. Sometimes, again, I told you, growing up, I couldn't read. I was very dyslexic. This is what I would pick a comic book up for, was the cover. I know that the interiors probably won't look as good as this, but this cover right here, it is fire. The Red Hawk issue number 3, variant cover, nasty work. Woo! Issue 5 of Hellhunters, I believe this is it. I wanted that cover with Logan flying through the air, didn't get it, but you know what? I'm not gonna complain. This is definitely a good book. I wouldn't be surprised if that damn cover pops up in my pull box with him flying through the air that I requested, because I think I ordered that one too, but whatever. Hellhunters issue number 5 out of Marvel, definitely a good story. If you haven't been reading it, go out and read it, or wait till the trade comes out. What they say, it ain't no party like a Diddy party. Look, it ain't no party like a Marvel party when Marvel, I ain't gonna lie, came with hella peak covers this week. The variant covers that was in the shop was fire. I have Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 16, and if you look at this cover, look at it in all its glory. You got black suit Spider-Man sitting sideways on a building. Look at that moon right there. You can't go wrong with this cover. This cover is fire. This is by far one of my favorite Ultimate Spider-Man covers that I have purchased thus far, and this is rounding out the Marvel pool. This right here, Chef Kiss, is going to beat out that Red Hawks, the Red Hawk, Incredible Hulk cover for me, just because I just love the color scheme in this particular cover. It is fire, so that's all I got for the Marvel, baby. So getting into a bunch of random stuff that I just got, or I just took out my pool box this week. I emptied the whole pool. I had a couple books in there. I'm not going to spend too much time on these books, but I'll just run through them really quick. What we have here, this is The Hive issue number 3. This came out a couple weeks ago. Hive issue 3 out of Image Comics. All right, next up we have G.I. Joe issue number 6. This cover with Cobra with all the snakes coming from under the helmet, definitely fire. This has been in the pool box. I was debating on this because I wanted to get the trades, but I just wanted to have this particular cover in my collection. It's one of the fire, dopest ones that's been released as far as this series, so I definitely have to add this to my collection as far as the singles collection. This is Those Not Afraid issue number 4. I'm not gonna lie, I felt like the issue ended too soon. I believe there's one more story. I hope there's one more story, because I ain't gonna lie, this story, I don't know what it is about them number 4 issues, but either with them number 4 issues, with the covers or the stories, the shit is good. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of it was a stretch, but this story here, oh my gosh, I told you guys about this when it first dropped. If you're not reading it, get out there and read it, and you know we're gonna run it back and just complete the whole series of this and do a whole review of the whole series once it's complete. But Those Not Afraid issue number 4, baby. A new number 1 issue this week on the channel, and you know what? I wasn't going to get this book, but it was just so much nostalgia to it. Lost Fantasy issue number 1, the Final Fantasy homage cover. There's not too much I can say about this. I'll get into the story at a later date to just go over a review of it, but for right now, the cover is fire, so that is the only reason why I picked this up. So Lost Fantasy issue number 1 hopefully is decent. All right, so rounding out the singles, it's going to be a 2-for-1. You're going to have my pick of the week, and you're going to have my cover of the week. 2 for 1. So without further ado, we're just going to go with my pick of the week. Boom. Bitterroot Next Movement issue number 2. Shout out to the boy Sanford Greene. If you don't know who the man is the man. But to me, he is by far one of my favorite comic book illustrators, artists, whatever you want to call it. He is one of my favorites. This book, Bitterroot, a lot of people have been comparing it, the first Bitterroots, to parallel to the Sinners, which I can see that within itself needs to be respected for its own rights. And I'm not going to cap. I knew nothing about the story until I picked up the first issue of Bitterroot issue number 1, The Next Movement. I read it. I was so enthralled by the book. I thought it was fire. So I had to go ahead and grab this issue number 2. But wait, there's more. I actually went back and picked up the actual Bitterroot, what is it called? Ami, a couple weeks back. Haven't done a review on it. Haven't read it, but I will be doing a review on it as soon as I finish it. But when something's good, it's good, and you just have to respect the true artistry of the artist. The guy Sanford Greene, he doesn't miss, and it's something so joyful and I don't even know the words I'm looking for. The man artwork, it resonates with me so bad. I mean, it resonates with me so much. Just the way he uses his colors and his shadowing and all the things that he uses across the board. I just love everything he does. So I find myself always trying to grab covers and whatever books that he might be a part of. Can't wait till the Ultimate Wolverine cover comes out. I believe that's 6, 7. The one that drops in June, he's doing that one with Wolverine sitting in the trees. I can't wait to get that one. The cover's sick. Bitterroot's Next Movement, issue number 2, is my pick of the week. But not only coming in at the peak of the week, the boy Sanford Greene had 2 books that dropped this week, or 2 artworks that he did this week. One full book and 1 artwork, whatever. But coming in for my cover of the week, we have The Power Company issue number 1, covered by, you know, the one and only Sanford Greene. The man don't miss. I had to pick this up, issue number 1, Recharge, covered by Sanford Greene. This is a full circle moment. You guys seen the video a couple weeks ago when Mr. Jackson, I believe, or Mr. Robertson, I gotta reach back in the video to get the man's name, bought me the Wanted book by Mark Millard. Mark actually wrote Vatican City, Chef Kiss, very dope. If you haven't read it, go read it, please. I started going through my collection and I realized, oh my gosh, I have a lot of books by this man. So this book that I actually picked up, because we're in the trade, this is a trade that came out. I picked up the first issue, the thing that was number 1, and you know my rules, I don't buy stuff in the middle of the run, so I haven't read it, but this dropped this week, The Prodigy by Mark Millard, paper trade, collecting the first issues 1 through 5, Slave of Mars. I had to buy this based off what I read in The Wanted. I mean, this man don't miss, so this is my trade pick of the week, so yeah, hopefully it's good. I don't know if you guys been reading this, but I don't hear too many people talking about this man's writings, but this man's writings are fire. All right, so going into my favorite segment of the show, we have Donald's pick of the week. Last week that he wasn't able to present me with, but he placed it in the box. But you know what? We went ahead and brought it home today, and I actually seen Donald today. Shout out to you, my boy. I appreciate what you did, but we'll get into that in a second. Donald's pick of the week is Kings of Nowhere's Volume 1. He talked about this one day on the channel, one of the comic book days, but this is a Volume 1 of it. I guess it's a story about this monkey guy. He's a reject, and his dad is some type of gang leader that rejects him. I don't know. Donald explained it in the story, but we'll go ahead and bust this down and do an in-depth, deep dive review on this once I read it, and I'll let you guys know what I thought about it. Donald, if you're watching this, my boy, thank you. You didn't have to do this. I am internally and I'm deeply moved by your gesture today and the things that we spoke about at the shop off camera. So thank you, brother. We're good. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm talking about. I never really felt anything about it, but brother, thank you. And I really appreciate this gift you gave me. Donald came through. He gave me a book today out of his personal collection. He gave me, Donald has his name tag on there. Hold on, take that off. Donald gave me Once in Future Volume 1, The King is Dead. I want to say, someone told me about this book. And I think my buddy Linnell told me about this book. But I think my buddy Linnell told me about this book. We were going over some samples of artwork for the book that we're working on, and he showed me this. And I really think that he showed me this book. And I think I remember this book, but more so I remember when he was trying to explain this book to me. I don't know how old you guys are, but when he was explaining this book to me, it sounded as if it was more like The Eternal Darkness. The Eternal Darkness is a video game that came out back in the day on GameCube. I don't even know if any of you guys played this, but it was Eternal Darkness, and it was a game where you would travel through time and you would play different characters like the priest Martin Luther and, you know, this, and this. You would just go back in time and fight all these zombies and different hellish ghouls and creatures or whatnot. But anyways, I'm rambling. I think this is what this book is similar to about. Someone's going back in time, fighting zombies and monsters as a king. I don't know, Donald explained it to me, but I really feel like this is what this book is about. But again, once I deep dive into this, we're gonna go over it all. Without further ado, guys, you know, I have not another thing to say, I'm wrapping this video up. Shout out to everyone that's been commenting and subscribing, and sorry for the delays on these videos. I just get really busy at times. Shout out to you. Thank you for anybody that spent the time over here with me today. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, hit that notification button so you know when I'm posting. And most of all, hop down in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going. So I'll see y'all peoples next week. Bye. Bye-bye.